1. Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this is Taking Care of Business. Joining me today is Lesley-Anne Scorgie, who is with MeVest. She's an author, speaker, and personal finance consultant. Thanks for joining us today, Lesley-Anne.
Thanks so much for having me.
Let's talk about financial literacy. First of all, this is Financial Literacy Month, but when we talk about financial literacy, what does that mean? What does that entail?
In my opinion, it's about being aware of tools, tricks, tips to help you feel more empowered with your finances. So that could be anything from learning how to budget to understanding how your investments are performing, even to understanding the implications that your debt might be having on the way that you live and your overall finances. The whole idea of Financial Literacy Month is to bring good, positive attention to learning about money. So this is a no judgment month. It is a place of learning, and that is what the spirit of the month is. It's about education.
And why is that important, especially now?
Well, we've had a rough go during the pandemic, and not everyone is financially okay. And some people are fine. But right now, what we're seeing are pretty high debt levels. We're seeing stress, so mental health being impacted by money more than ever before. And research is starting to come out and say that we need to pay way more attention to overall financial wellness. That concept is really the focus of Financial Literacy Month. I think now more than ever before, as we're learning about mental health, as we're learning about money, we need to put these two things together so that we reduce stress, pair that with better skills, and be able to make smarter decisions. Because let's face it, amidst these high inflationary times we are in, amidst the brewing increase in interest rates, we know it's looming. We need to be prepared for just about anything that's coming our way.
Speaking of being prepared, do you think most Canadians right now aren't prepared? I'm just curious of how you feel about the general level of financial literacy of Canadians right now. Today.
We know that a lot of Canadians are not prepared, and they're living about a month's worth of expenses away from running out of money. That's what the research says. Then there are those who are very well prepared. They've got their 3 to 6 month emergency cushion, which the pandemic kind of proved wasn't long enough anyhow. But there are those who are prepared, those who aren't prepared. And my best advice here is if you're feeling even modestly underprepared, it's time to take some action, shoring away some money for emergencies. That's that cushion we talked about, and taking action on just being more clever with how you're spending, how you're investing, and how you are saving. This will help.
Now, this whole area can be overwhelming for people, and could be daunting for people to learn about so many different things, right? And whether it's credit cards and interest rates, whether it's a mortgage and loans, you name it. What's your advice for people to get into this and I guess and be educated because as I said, if you look at the whole picture, like boom, it's kind of overwhelming, right?
Right. And there's so many facets. You name just a handful. There's hundreds of facets of financial education. So here's my first tip. Financial literacy is not going to happen for you in a day or a month or a year. It's actually a way of living. And the way I like to approach it with my students is every day do something that helps you improve your financial education. It could be as simple as you logging into your online banking and transferring money from your checking into your savings account. That's an act of self-love and care. It's great for your mental health. It's great for your wallet, but it's also great in habit formation. So it can be super simple. Every week, we want to make a slightly pointed effort to learn a little bit more. Now, I think it's so amazing what technology has done in that department. You hop online social media, you can follow people who are real experts in this area. You hop on the blogs. There are plenty of, personal finance blogs, I think, that you might really, gravitate to. The idea is, why not take an action that is small but meaningful every day to learn a little bit more?
Yeah.
Then couple that with, maybe you read an article. If you're like me, I'm a super busy mom, so I'm listening to articles. So I use my phone. I put those AirPods in, I go for a walk with the new babe, and I'm learning. I actually learn about money every single week. I make a pointed effort to see what else is out there. Eventually, you get to that point where you will understand a little bit more about what's trending, what techniques to use. The other thing I can say here is, if you're really feeling behind, don't hesitate. Spend some money on your education if you need to. So that might be you hiring a money coach, could be taking a class to build up, kind of supercharge that financial education you wish you had in high school.
Yeah.
It's okay to spend some money in the category of financial wellness without guilt. It's a really good investment if you're feeling behind.
Well, last question I had for you, Lesley-Anne, is when you talk about education, right? And um, what about in terms of reaching a younger population? This is something that we obviously have not done in our society, well, forever, basically, right? Because, there's a little bit of it taking place in schools, but not really a lot. Do you think we need to start at a much earlier age, and maybe even a more structured approach in schools to build that financial literacy?
What's happening is there's a patchwork of education pockets in the system across Canada, actually across North America. So, depending on where you live, financial literacy is likely being tackled, but to what degree, we don't know. Is it enough to be really on top of your finances when you graduate? Well, the stats show it's clearly not, right? Because we have so many young people getting themselves into bad debt. So that's non-student loan related debt.
Yeah.
They're also walking into surging high prices in real estate and a precarious job market. So this is not super. In my opinion, it's really important for parents to not rely fully on the education system to do some of this work. Whether you are good or bad with your finances, if you are a parent, you have to know that your kids start picking up financial clues as early as the age of 3. So this is your opportunity as early as 3 to start setting a better example and talking to your kids about finances. Now, steer that conversation away from any negativity. Maybe you haven't been that good with your money, but you can still talk the better talk to teach them some better lessons,
Yeah.
and tell them, you know what, I didn't do all the right activities, but I wanted to share with you how you can be better with your finances. So here's the other thing: is if you are not a parent who gives an allowance, you absolutely need to change that. You need to be giving an allowance and using that allowance as a real world example
Hmm.
to help your kids save, spend, and give. And it doesn't matter if you're a cash family or you're a tap family. Either way, you can do it digitally by having those accounts, or you can do it physically with the cash. I know we like to have the cash. So my 2-year-old, we have a little piggy bank that he loves to play with. So start it early. And when you are getting into those teen years, I can't stress how important it is to inspire them to take control, give them autonomy so that they can make some decisions, show them what a budget template is, and get them a couple books on money. Who doesn't? What teenager does not want to be rich, right?
That's true. Oh, that's super. Thanks very much, Lesley-Anne, for joining us today.
Thanks, Mario.
All right, that was Lesley-Anne Scorgie, who is with Me Vest. She's an author, speaker, and personal finance consultant in Canada. This has been Taking Care of Business with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us.